What is up, my brothers and sisters? So today, well, actually yesterday, well, for the past couple of days, I came across this channel, which I used to watch every now and then, and they seem like nice people, but you just never really know. You know what I mean? Like, all most of us are is just like a face and a voice, and nowadays you can't even be sure if like most people are even real. And I can guarantee you a lot of people are not real because of artificial intelligence. And, I've had it happen so many times, and I'm sure a lot of you have had it happen several times because, several of us have been, well, on this here planet for some time, and the internet has been around, I don't know, 20 years, maybe a little longer, which really ain't that long. I don't know. I was getting on the internet in like 1999. So 2019 would be 20 years, right? Now we're at 2023. And well, the internet's come a long way. But at the same time, it still somewhat seems like it's in its infancy. Infancy. So with that being said, um, doesn't it seem like as far as we've advanced and as quick as it has, that it should be a lot more advanced than what we are led to believe? I think in some ways, yes, some ways, no. Artificial intelligence is probably a lot more sophisticated and complex than we think it is, beyond anything we can fathom. And, well, as much as we're allowed to know, we're just now finding out. And we've always had like a general idea that, a lot of this stuff has been going on. And for instance, what I'm trying to get at is not real profiles and people that are interacting with you, chatting with you, and et cetera, right? So, as far as like social media goes, I don't care what social media you're on. You could be on a battle rap app to Twitter to, uh, what is it? Face Space or whatever, and then Spacebook and all that good stuff. Like, basically, it's the oldest trick in the book, and it's been going on since 1999 when I was getting on the internet. And you got the emails and other things. Like the oldest trick in the book as far as like scamming you or like hacking you or anything like that, or like maybe even artificial intelligence, is the spam folder. That's why they created a spam folder in your email, because that's where all like the weird stuff goes that you really don't want to look at. Like, for instance, the oldest trick in the book are the number two. There's like two things that people desire most. And then one that goes with men and being enhanced performance, and women or men, and that means less body weight. So you see these emails and it's like, oh, diet pills, right? And then you see the other one, it's like Smiling Jim. He's been happy ever since he started taking this pill, and so is his wife. Click here, right? Like there's no such thing, as much as like, and it still works to this day. You know what I'm saying? Like people still click on it. Or like, what about the one where you're like scrolling down? It's like hot, sexy local singles, right? Want a spicy Latina? Click here, right? Like, you know what I mean? So these are the oldest tricks in the book, right? People still fall for them. Even people that probably even know they shouldn't click on them because it's desirable, right? Like it's there for that reason. Well, so what I'm trying to get at is yesterday, I used to watch these people a lot, and sometimes I still do because I like to get information from a little bit of everyone. But you got to really be careful what information you soak in, okay? And see, a lot of people are led to believe that the government has these weapons and all these things, and that they're creating sun blockers and suns, and that they're manipulating the weather, and they're doing all this stuff, right? Well, that's what they want you to believe, okay? My answer, as far as the things that I say, have never changed. Okay? So, and time again, it ends up being that I was right. And I stand by what I believe in because I know it is right. I'm not saying that I was right or this isn't a competition. The Creator has given me this information, and I'm going to go with the Creator. There's no man or woman or entity that can say or do anything to change my mind. So what I'm trying to get at here is this couple always talks about like energy and we're part of the universe and like and then yesterday they're like explaining all this, and then like they just leave like the creator out of the equation though, right? Like they're like it comes from a source, right? And I'm like, yeah, the creator. And they're like basically saying it's this energy, right? Which I do believe in energy, but where did that energy come from, right? Like it's not just like by itself, right? So besides all that, like there was another time where like I remember that like they did this video and it was like they were connecting to the Palladians, right? These like entities in space, right? And she was like I don't know, the lady was like acting like she was possessed and she was like, I'm here in the vessel of this body, right? And he's like, when is the world going to end, right? And she's like, it will come soon. Change your ways, right? And I was just like, man, that's freaking weird, right? Like, that's called possession, fool. So, I mean, I guess you could be vesselly possessed by an angelic being as well, but you know, that's just rare and often seldom, right? Like, you're most likely talking to a demonic being, or like you're faking it or whatever, right? And you know, you got to be careful with who you talk to because some of these people are like in the community as far as like people that are trying to spread the truth. And they might even be agents that are like, how do you say? When I really started digging deep and like looking on the internet, as far as like, you know, instead of the experience, because like for a long time, I just actually went and experienced it personally myself, saw it myself, seeked out these things myself, right? Like, and they happened. Okay. Now it's the digital age and the internet, and well, you know, why not? The entities exist there too. So with that being said, like I was like looking for God basically, right? And I was like looking for the creator. I was looking for more answers, you know, anything I could come across to like add to my portfolio of truth. Cause you gotta go through all of it and skim through it, right? Like there's not just like one answer, right? Like it's a riddle. Everywhere you go, there's always a left and a right, right? And you gotta take that left, save it for later, and go right, right? Does that make sense? So I came across this channel on like Googling, and it was this lady, right? And she was like, you know, and for a second I was almost like sold, because like she was describing the same things that I was going through, saying the same things that was happening, and I was just like, wow, right? Like I really like, I don't know, resonate with this lady, right? And then like, you know, she even had like a video of like this orb, this like electric orb in her room, and I was like, man, I see those all the time, right? And I was just like reading, and then she starts doing the same crap, right? She's like, I'm talking to you as a light worker from the Palladians, right? And I'm like, ugh. And then it's like, dude, she shows up. I'm talking like a grown ass woman. The next, and I'm not saying anything's wrong with that, but I mean, come on, right? Like, you know, it's just kind of, I don't know, you know, I mean, you know, just, you know, it's not like she was going to Comic Con, right? Like, she was like wearing like this unicorn hat, right? And I'm like, what are you, like 12? You know what I mean? Like, are you like into like fetishes or something, right? Like, I'm just like, I mean, I don't know, you know, so, you know, she just really lost me on that, right? And I was just like, you know, like figured out that like, you know, this isn't the place I need to be, right? Like, so, anyways, now that that's all been said, they're talking about the ground shifting in LA. So some pictures have recently floated up of all these houses like sinking, like going into like a landslide. So with that being said, let's see, Houston live camera. I don't know about you, but I've been hearing a lot, like as far as like Texas and like, you know, cities close to me, um, all the roads are like buckling, right? They're all sinking, and there's all these sinkholes, and let's see if it'll come up here. Oops, I spelled it wrong. So buckling. So basically, the roads they're blaming it on the heat. See, 13 days ago, extreme heat causes another road, Houston, to buckle. TxDOT blames extreme heat for this is 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago. So all these roads, right? 2 weeks ago. See, look at that road right there, 12 days ago. I mean, like time and time again. And you can look like in other states, other places, and it's happening there too, and they're blaming it on the heat. It's not just the heat from the sky, it's the heat from underground. And I've been saying time and time again that there's explosions A liquefaction event is going to take place here soon. The weather is going crazy, nonstop. The ground is shaking. There's missing earthquakes. I mean, I don't know how else to put it. You know what I mean? Like, I just don't understand. I don't understand. Nobody listens.